This is the end result of the dress being made in this video, and if you would love to learn how to get something like this, then please stay tuned. Welcome to today's tutorial, guys. My name is Mary Ann, and today we will be drafting and sewing the Bubu dress that you saw earlier in the video. So for mine, I made use of 3 yards of fabric because I'm on the bigger side, but if you're on a smaller side, you can make use of 2 yards. Now I'm going to fold my fabric over into 4. To get the measurement I'll need to use to fold, I will just take my shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches, and then I'll divide that by 2. That's 8 inches. So I have 8 inches there. Then the sleeve length that I want to make use of is 10 inches. So the length of the sleeve I'm working with is 10 inches. So I'll add that 10 inches now to the 8 inches. And then I'll need a hemming allowance for my sleeve. I'll need a hemming allowance of 3 inches. So I'll add these 3 numbers together, and I had 21 inches. So the 8 plus 10 plus 3 gave me 21 inches. So I'll be folding over with 21 inches. But if your hip measurement is wider than this, like after adding your allowance, if your hip measurement is wider than this, then fold over with your hip measurement. But mine isn't, and most of the time the sleeve is always wider, so this is, a safer way to go. So guys, I went ahead to mark my vertical measurements on my fabric, which included my shoulder to hip, shoulder to dress length, and the hemline, as you see me doing right now, and I'll walk you through that later on in the video. From the hemline, I came up by 3 inches, which is the actual length of my dress, so I'll just go over it again. That is my shoulder line. So from my shoulder line, I came down to my hip line, which is 29 inches. My shoulder to hip is 29 inches. And then I also came down to the dress length, which is 37 inches, plus 3 inches hemming allowance. So altogether, I had 40 inches. Now coming to my shoulder line, I came in by 3 inches, which is the neckline width. I'm sorry, my camera did not pick that. I had no idea, it was not showing. And then I'll place my shoulder measurements divided by 2, which is 8 inches as well. Now I would come down for my neckline depth at the back, because we're drafting the back pattern first, guys. So we'll come down by 1 inch for the back pattern, and then we'll just connect that as usual. Then on the shoulder line, we're going to come out by the sleeve length. We're going to place the sleeve measurement, which is 10 inches plus 3 inches allowance, so that's 13 altogether. So we're going to measure 13 inches from the shoulder measurement point. So we have the neck width, we have the shoulder measurement, and then we have the sleeve length. So that's 3 points on the shoulder line. Please don't get it confused. Now on the sleeve length, I will come down by 1 inch. Usually we'll take our shoulder slope from the shoulder measurement point, but this time around we're taking it from the sleeve length because it's cut together. And I'll come down by 1 inch and just connect that straight to my neckline width measurement, like so. If what I'm saying is confusing, just pay attention to what I'm doing, please. Now from the sleeve length, we're going to place our sleeve opening. My armhole on a normal day is 8.5 inches, but for this I'm going to be adding 2.5 inches to it. You could add 2 inches, you could add 3 inches, but I'm adding 2.5, making that 11, and then I marked the points there. Now we'll come to our hip line. After marking the points, you just leave it, and then you come to your hip line. So my hip measurement is 11. My hip measurement is 11. That's 44 divided by 4, 11. And then I'm adding 5 inches to the 11 because I want an allowance of 5 inches. You could do 3, you could do 4. Now I've placed 16 inches there. And then on the hemline, on the dress length, I'll place 15 inches because I want it a bit tapered up and down. And then on the sleeve opening, that's the 11 inches point I marked up, I'll place the same 15 inches just as a guide. So I'll just connect like this from the sleeve opening, like so, using the 15-inch point as a guide. It doesn't necessarily have to touch it. Just watch the way I'm drawing the line. So I placed 15 inches up, 16 on the hip, and 15 down because I just wanted it to have that kind of shape. And then I'm connecting like so. Just pay attention to what I'm doing, guys. This is really easy to make. You can make this in no time at all. And then I'm just blending this point out because I don't want any sharp edges. And then I'm connecting straight down to my hemline. I'm also bringing up here and closing the sleeve opening like so. I'm making a close there so that you can see, and this is what we have. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut. Remember to add 1/2 inch joining allowance at the shoulder. That's the only place I'm going to be adding an allowance because I'm just going to stitch from the allowance I've already added in the dress. So you see me cutting out what we have here, and this is it. So this is the back pattern. I'm just going to go ahead now to open this up. I'm going to open it up, remove one piece of it because we cut the same thing on both of them, right? So I'll remove the one inside and then I'm going to cut the one outside because I want to turn this one now to the front pattern. The major difference, and the only difference in fact, is the neckline. So for the front, I would come down by another 2 inches to make it 3 inches in front. So I'll come down by 2 inches and connect that to the neckline width. The neckline width remains the same. It is just the depth that changes. So I'll come down and go ahead and cut that like so. This is not going to accommodate my head, of course, so I'm still going to come down. In this video I came down by 2 inches, but later on I realized that it was still too small, so I came down by 4 inches and just made a curve as you see me doing. So from this point, just come down by 4 inches. There's no need to come down by 2. 4 is just fine. And then I went ahead to cut that out. Now I'm using my pieces, like one part of the pieces, to cut interfacing, or rather facing, for the pieces that I have, just for the neckline, since we're not lining it. So I'm just placing this now. I folded the pieces into 2 and make sure that the folded parts are on the same part, and then I just cut. Just watch what I'm doing. If you pay close attention, you would understand what I'm doing. So after cutting the neckline, I came down by 3 inches on both sides and just connected so that I'll have some sort of, roundish shape. And this is what I have for the front piece. So if I open this up and open this up as well, you see that we have the exact same thing. And now go ahead and do the same thing for the back. Make sure that the center back is matching with the folded part of the piece, and just trace out the neckline like this and the shoulder line. Then you come down by 3 inches on both sides. Come down by 3 inches on both sides and just cut. And by the time I open the back up as well, we're going to have the same thing to use to turn the neckline for the back. Easy peasy, guys. Now I'm just bringing back my front piece. I'll place the facing, right sides facing each other, and just stitch around, and do the same thing for the back, right sides facing each other and stitch. Now I've gone ahead to do that for the front. As you can see, I've stitched it down. So the next thing you'd want to do now is to make notches all around. Any sharp edge, just cut it and make notches. Then you turn this inside out. Just pay attention to what I'm doing, guys. This is really not hard to do at all. You turn this inside out like so, and then you give it a good press. If you've watched the video up until this point, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and also share, comment. This helps me know that you are enjoying the content I put out, and I'll be urged to post more. So I just went ahead to give this a good press, and I did the same thing for the back as well. You notch, you turn it inside out, and then you give a good press and trim when necessary. At this point, I realized that my camera had stopped recording and I had already gone, through a couple of steps. So I'll just walk you through. The first thing I did was to join my shoulder. You see how I opened the facing and joined it. Then I went ahead to hem my sleeve, and then I hemmed both sleeves actually. Then I joined the sides of my fabric. I joined the two sides, and then I hemmed the bottom as well. So these steps are pretty easy. I'm sorry I couldn't show it, but it should be easy to understand. So the final step for this, guys, is to introduce our hemming gum and use that to hold the facing to the main fabric. This is the last step, guys, and I'm not folding any parts in. I'm just going along, and this always gives me a neat finish. So I'm just using my hemming gum and placing that inside and giving it a good press, as you can see. And I did the same thing for the back as well. Please, if you have any questions in regards to the part of the video that was not included, do feel free to ask in the comment section. I will be more than happy to answer you. And this is what we have, guys. This is the final result. You see the neat finishing on the neckline, the body, and then you see the hemline hemmed neatly. It was super easy to make, and I enjoyed every process of this video, guys. If this is something you've enjoyed, please, like I said earlier, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also give me a thumbs up and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.